Morning everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make a magnetic pin wand, which is a very useful tool if you've lost or dropped any pins or anything else that's small and metal. So you'll have been provided with a magnet. Make sure that if you've got any small children around, they don't get hold of them, and a lolly stick. All I want you to do is glue one to the other. I used Pritt stick, and here's one I did earlier. You could cover it with paper or some kind of plastic, anything you wanted really. You could just use paper and sellotape or glue. You don't have to cover them at all. You could just leave it like this. But to be on the safe side, in case it ever came off, I'm going to cover mine with some fabric, and I'll show you how to do that now. I would probably choose plain material, just because once you pick the pins up, they're easier to see on plain material. If it's patterned, you can't necessarily see what you've picked up. So I've cut a piece of material which is approximately 6 to 6.5 centimeters wide and about 17.5 centimeters long. I'm going to pin the craft stick into the material, leaving about 1mm gap. So you want it to be snug, but you don't want it to be so snug that you can't get the lolly stick in. You do leave 1 or 2 millimeters gap. And if you take the stick out, so you want to sew one end, do forward and backward, just to start it off. And then, like I said, sew along where the pins are. Make sure you leave enough space for the stick. If you find it easier to draw a line, and then a forward and backward, just to finish off. Then I want to turn it inside out, so I'm going to get a pencil. It can be a bit fiddly, but if you push the end inside out to start with, and then you can use the pencil or pen or whatever you're going to use to push it all the way through. You can then push the lolly stick into your little cover and tuck in the end and sew up the end. So I've just sewn up the end. The last thing I'm going to do is just sew a little marker onto the back and at the wand end, just so I know at a glance which is the handle end and which is the back. So I've strung up some cotton. I've done 2 colours, pink and blue, and I've done double, so there's essentially 2 pink strands and 2 blue. And I'm just going to sew maybe some little flowers. So to do a petal shape, if you put the needle in where the thread is coming out, bring it out a bit further up, maybe about 0.5 centimetre away, and then wrap all of the thread around the needle and hold it in place while you then pull the needle out, and you get a petal shape. And then to finish it off, you just need to put the needle in on the other side of the top of the petal, and if you bring it back down to where the middle is, where you started, then that will secure that petal in place, as you can see. I'm just going to do that a few times and get maybe a little flower. And tie it off out of the way. So there I can clearly see which is the back and the non-handle end, the magnet end. So then I can just do a little test. Oh no! Drop some pins. Imagine that's the carpet. And if it's our carpet downstairs, then it's quite thick and more multicoloured, so you'd never find a pin. Yay!